All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and finish the last example from chapter 3.5. Okay, last example for chapter 3.5. Now this example is going to go with the last problem on your worksheet, and then you can hand in the worksheet into the appropriate basket over on the shelf by the window. All right, so example 4, we're going to solve a matrix equation. And we're going to solve the equation for x and y. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the matrix on the screen. Okay, so that's the problem given to us. And we want to solve for x and y. Well, first of all, we do not need everything on this matrix. We only are interested in the parts of the matrix that are going to help us solve for x and y. So, I noticed that in the upper right-hand corner, there's no variable, so I am not interested in using the 1, the -3, or the -8. Okay, now I'm going to look at the bottom. Again, there is part of the matrix that we don't need to use anywhere. You'll notice that in the bottom left-hand corner, we do not need any of that. Okay, again, we're only interested in solving for x and y. So what we're going to do is we're going to write two equations based on what we've learned with the matrices. So starting with the top, okay, first of all, there's a scalar in front, which is 4. So the top of the matrix, I'm going to go 4 parentheses. Now I have a 3x, and I'm going to add it to the 1. Okay, these two are going to get added together. Close it. And it's going to equal what's in the other matrix, -8. Okay, the other equation is the bottom, so I have 4 parentheses. Now I have a 6 plus -2y, and that equals 0. Okay, so the 6 gets added to the 2y. Okay, and there's a scalar in front, so I need the 4 times that. All right, now I'm going to solve both of these equations. All right, let me start with 4 times 3x plus 1 equals -8. Okay, I'm just going to solve it without talking. You should be able to solve these pretty easily. Here we go. So the first one we solved for x. X is -1. Okay, now the other one. Okay, so the other one is y equals +3. Okay, that's all there was to it. Again, only concentrate on the part of the matrix where there's a variable. Don't forget about the scalar in front. Set up your equations. and then solve. All right, so now you should be able to do the last problem on the section 3.5 worksheet, and then please hand that in. Okay, the rest of the lesson. Okay, chapter 3.6. Okay, section 3.6. Now, at any point, if I'm going too fast and you can't keep up, please pause or rewind the video so that you can get all of the notes. All right, so here we go. To multiply, the column in the first matrix must match the row in the second matrix. So we're going to be doing multiplying matrices here. So what does that mean? Okay, here we go. So for example, if I had a 2 by 3, okay, so there's 2 rows, 3 columns. And I had another matrix that was, well, hold on here, let me back that up. Another matrix that is another 2 by 3. Again, this is the row, this is the column. Now, can I multiply them together? Well, let's read what it says. The column in the first matrix must match the row in the second matrix, okay? So these two must match. Question mark. Well, no, they do not, okay? They do not match. So if you have a matrix that looks like that, you can't multiply them. It's not possible to multiply them. Okay? You could add or subtract them because they match, but multiplication is a different rule. The column in the row must match, but they do not. Okay? Now, if I have another one, let me put 2 more up there. All right, so let's say that I have a 2 by 2, and I have a 2 by 4. So again, I look at the column and the row, and in this case, do they match? Yes, they do match. Okay, that means we can multiply them. Okay? So, you got to watch out for that. It's not the exact same rule as when we added or subtracted. Now, if you can multiply them together, the new matrix, when you multiply them together, okay, the new matrix is going to have a different, and I shouldn't say different, it's going to have possibly a different row and column than what you actually started with. Okay, so the new matrix, this is how the new matrix works. The new matrix will be 2 by 4. Again, the new matrix will be a 2 by 4 matrix because we take the row and then the column that are not being matched, and that becomes the new matrix. Okay, let me demonstrate again because I don't think that's very clear. Okay, let me do this again. Here we go. So this time, let's do this. I'll just use the same color. So we have a 2 by 5, and we have a 5 by 7. So these two match, yes. So the new matrix, okay, whoops. The new matrix is going to be a 2 by 7. Okay? So that gives you an idea of what you should end up with in the end. All right, so let's go to actually multiplying these. I'm going to first start off with variables so you see how it works, and then I will do it with numbers. All right, here we go. So I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. So I'm going to have a 2 by 2, and I'm going to have a 2 by 2. Okay, 2 by 2 is the easiest matrix that you can have. All right, so I'm going to just use letters. So I'm going to go A, B, C, D. Over here, I'm going to go E, F, G, H. Okay, and we are multiplying those two matrices together. All right, how does this work? Again, you may want to rewind this and watch it several times if you don't get it right away. All right, so what we do is, and I'll try to color code this, we take the row of the first one and the column of the second one. So the first row and the first column. And what we do there is we take the A, let me just use purple here. So we're going to take the A times the E plus the B times the G. Actually, I'll put that in pink so I can keep it color-coded. A times the E plus the B times the G. Okay, look at how I did that. The A to the E plus the B to the G. Okay, now I'm going to change colors here. So now I'm going to do, okay, the first row and the second column. All right, so here we go. So now I'm going to take the A times the F plus the B times the H. Okay, let me switch colors. Okay, now I'm done with the first row. Notice the first row is filled in. Now the second row. So I'm going to take the second row, the D, CD, and then the first column. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take the C times the E plus the D times the G. And, again, let me color code this. We're going to take the second row and the second column. So we're going to go C times the F plus the D times the H. This is why we don't want to work with really big matrices and multiplying. All right, so now I'm going to put numbers in it. So here we go. Let me put one with numbers in it. So 1, -2, 5, -4, times 3, -6, 7, -1. Okay, so let me color code in the same way. I'll start with the pink. So we're going to take the first row and the first column, and we are going to go 1 times 3 plus -2 times 7. Okay, and we solve that. And that gives us, okay, let me back this up. And that gives us -11. All right, now let me do the first row and the second column. So that would be 1 times -6 plus -2 times -1. Okay, solve that, and that will equal -4. Okay, now I'm done with the first row. I'm going to take the second row and the first column. So 5 times 3 plus -4 times 7. And that should give us -13. Okay, one more time. We're going to take the second row and the second column. So we're going to go 5 times -6. Let me fix that. Plus -4 times -1. Okay, solve that, and we end up with -26. Now, normally we don't show all of that work, so we will just write our answers. So we have a -11, a -4, a -13, and a -26. And that's what we should end up with when we multiply those two matrices together. And just, again, it's a 2 by 2. and a 2 by 2, they match. So we were able to multiply them together, and the new matrix will be a 2 by 2. All right, let's keep going. Okay, let's look at what a 2 by 3 looks like, and a 3 by 2. Here we go. Again, you can pause and rewind at any time. All right, so I'm going to do a 2 by 3. So I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, now, in order to multiply this together, don't forget the rows must match the column. So I'm going to do, this is going to be a 2 by 3, a 3 by 2, sorry, a 3 by 2. So now I'm going to do, oh wait, I'm going to switch that. I'm going to do, whoops, wrong way. I'm going to do a 3 by 4. Whoa, okay. So I'm going to keep going alphabetically here. So G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. All right, so first of all, again, I've got a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 4. Okay, so yes, we know that we can multiply them together because the 3's match. So the new matrix is going to be a 2 by 4. All right, now I'm going to start this, but I don't think I'm going to finish it completely. Okay, maybe I will. We'll see. Here we go. All right. So we're going to, I don't know if I have enough colors for this. Okay, so we're going to take the first row and the first column. So we're going to go A times G plus B times K plus C times O. Now we're going to take the first row times the second column. Okay. I did not make this big enough, so let me erase this. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do first row, second column. So now I'm going to go A times H plus B times L plus P, or C times P. All right, next one. Red. All right. First row, third column. So now it's A times I plus B times M plus C times Q. Orange. All right, again, first row, fourth column. All right, I got to squeeze this in. A times J plus B times N plus C times R. And then that's where I would close that out. So you can see there is the first row. Okay, let's see here. Let's, I'll keep the colors the same. All right, now we'll do the bottom row. So bottom row, first column. So D times G plus E times K plus F times O. Second row, second column. D times H plus E times L plus F times P. Third row. Second row, third column. D times I plus E times M plus F times Q. And then the last one, again, second row, fourth column. D times J plus E times N plus F times R. Takes a bit of time. It's going to be a little bit of work, but that's how we multiply those together. Okay, so now let's look at a word problem. matrices to calculate the total cost. So the school store for the middle school and the high school each submit an inventory list for the year. Each sweatshirt costs $15, each t-shirt costs $9, and each pennant costs $5. Use matrix multiplication to find the total cost of the inventory for each school. All right, so we have to set up a matrix. Now we're dealing with the middle school and the high school. So we're going to do two rows. The middle school and the high school will be the rows. And now we're dealing with sweatshirts. So I'm going to use SW for sweatshirts. T-shirts, I'm just going to use TS for t-shirt. And pennants, I'm going to use P for pennants. So it looks like our matrix is going to be a 2 by 3. All right, now it also tells us that what the costs are. Now this is, okay, so this is, let's back up. So this matrix is for their inventory. So the middle school has 61 sweatshirts, right here, 61 sweatshirts. The middle school has 63 t-shirts and 74 pennants. The high school has, right here, 58 sweatshirts, 71 t-shirts, and 92 pennants. So the first matrix is for the inventory. The second matrix has to be the cost, which is given up in the first paragraph. Now the cost, okay, in order for this to work, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to need a 3 here in order to multiply these together. So that means the 3 is going to look like this. It's going to go sweatshirts, t-shirts, and pennants. And it's only going to be one row because it's the cost. So the sweatshirts are 15, the t-shirts are 9, and the pennants are 5. Again, you had to set it up so you could multiply them. You have to have the column and the row match. All right, so here we go. We're going to multiply these together. Let me move this down a little bit. Okay. So, color coding. Green. All right, so we're going to take this row, and there's only one column there. Now, our new matrix is only going to be a 2 by 1. Okay, it's only going to be a 2 by 1. All right, so here we go. So we're going to take 61 times 15 plus 63 times 9 plus 74 times 5. Okay, so that's going to give us $1,852. Okay, the next one, we're going to go row, column. So that would be 58 times 15 plus 71 times 9 plus 92 times 5, and that's going to give us the price of $1,969. Okay, well, what in the world does that mean? Well, this is the middle school. The middle school has $1,852 worth of merchandise, and the high school has $1,969 worth of merchandise. So we took each and found the total cost for the high school and the middle school. Okay, at any time, please go ahead and rewind. If you don't remember how we did the multiplication, these examples should be good enough for you to do any matrix. Remember, if they do not match, okay, if they do not match, you cannot multiply them together. So if there's one like that on your worksheet, you're just going to say, not possible, or we cannot multiply these together because the column and the row do not match. But if they do match, follow the rule here on how to multiply. You take the row times the column. Okay? All right, work on the worksheet, and I will see you later.